welcome you to our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week tonight on BahakelSports.com. Our first basketball of the season and high school basketball underway in the Charlotte Metro. We're glad to have you with us here on BahakelSports.com. Kendall Lewis here from North Meck High School tonight, where the Cardinals of Barry make the trip to Huntersville to take on the North Meck Vikings. Got a doubleheader, the women's matchup first. Let's get to the Cardinals. Barry checks in 1-5 on the year. They're out of the SOMAC 4A conference, always one of the better conferences, not just in the Charlotte Metro, but in the state of North Carolina when you think about the likes of Myers Park, Archery, Kell, and Olympic, to name just a few in their league. And looking to pick up another win. Brindley Miller will have to be big tonight. She's their leading scorer coming into the game in this one tonight, but got to get a little more consistency offensively to take down a very good North Meck team as they check in 3-2 on the season out of the Queen City 3A, 4A conference. And interesting enough, coming off back-to-back losses, they played two really good teams in their last two contests. Coach Jennifer Baker said it's going to start defensively for us tonight. This is a North Meck team that will rely a lot on Boston Bates, their senior captain who has multiple college offers, will be playing at the next level. Undecided on exactly where. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the broadcast tonight. It's Barry North Meck tip coming up next. Here with you, ready to jump it up. It's John Maria Coleman, and the Vikings win the tip and quickly on the board for the easy deuce. Scoring off the tip, we've seen that quite a bit here this year. And the Vikings, again, as we mentioned, coming in 3-2 on the season. Cardinals in the red, they've got the white numbers, white letters here tonight. There's a look at Brindley Miller, number 15 in red, who we highlighted in the open. And the Cardinals just one win on the year, and this one deflected. Loose ball, it'll trickle out of bounds. As you get a look, there's already a nice crowd filing in here at North Meck High School. Again, we'll have the boys game for you coming up in about 10-15 minutes at the conclusion of this one. Nice ball movement as they work it inside. Another easy deuce, and North Meck claims the first 4 points here to start the game. So again, North Meck, a team that made it all the way to the regional semifinals a season ago, and active hands on D. Soleil Reed poked it out of bounds. Number 11 in white. She is an all-conference returner for the Vikings off that team that lost a lot, that were eliminated in the regional semifinals from a year ago. But it's a great year for Coach Baker, who we'll get to a little bit later in the broadcast. She's been doing this for quite some time on the Vikings sideline. Here's Miller out top, looking to drive. She'll back it away for the Cardinals. They work it. Breelove, nowhere to go. Shot fake Miller. Game clock down to 6.5 here in the first quarter. And this one's stolen away. Briasia Rowe, coast to coast, and gets it to finish off glass. First 6 points for the Vikings of North Meck, and a timeout here on our Bahakel Sports Games of the Week. And we'll keep it right here inside of North Meck High School. 6-0 start for the Vikings tonight. You see them in the white unis with the red numbers, blue trim tonight. Well, this is a team that really good all season long. I mentioned that coming off back-to-back losses where Coach Baker said, look, it was A.C. Reynolds and Myers Park, two of the best teams. Myers Park going to be one of the best teams in the Charlotte metro area this year on the women's side. They lost that one single digits, 59-55. And a single-digit loss to A.C. Reynolds just the day before. Two really good teams that at the 4A level will be around come the end of the year. 6-0 our score. Not even 2 minutes into this one. And the shot altered inside by Lanice Joseph. And quickly in transition come the Vikings again as they lay it in. North Meck gotten off the strong starts this year. We mentioned their first 3 games were wins. 3 from the top, rebound pulled in by Joseph, who holds 3 Division I offers for the Vikings. Turn around to paint, no. Cardinals out in transition. Bella Hall coast to coast, lost the rock, and then poked loose. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Berry Cardinal as Miller will trigger it in. Off the inbound, loose ball on the floor. This one picked up by the Vikings. And a turnover. Green takes it away. Then a steal from Rowe. Missed the bunny. And now a jump ball to call here at the 5:17 mark. And it will give it back to Berry. Not even 3 minutes in to the first quarter of action here. And North Mecklenburg High School tonight. This is the smallest gym in the Charlotte Metro school system. Pretty cool. Almost like a middle school gym. Of course, the school, a 4A school now. North Meck has certainly grown over the years. And this place certainly will be loud and always has a nice ring to it. Kendall Lewis here with you, BahakelSports.com. Miller will dial it up from 3. Short, rebound pulled in that time. Big offensive board from Breelove. And the Cardinals trying to get on the board. They'll kick it back out, Breelove. And North Meck scored right off the tip. And they've got the first 8 points with the board pulled in by Knox. Quickly, lead feed in transition. That's Soleil Reed. And Reed scores again. One of their all-conference selections from a year ago. Coach Baker said, this is a younger team as this one swatted out of bounds. Joseph on the block, and North Meck making their presence known here early. And Coach Baker, who's in year number 15 for North Meck on the sidelines, said this is a young team, but we did return 2 all-conference selections when you talk about Boston Bates, who we highlighted in the open, and Soleil Reed. Nice drive, and Miller gets it to go. Much needed for Berry. They're on the board. 4 and change into the first quarter. And Reed stepped on the baseline. It'll go back to the Cardinals. We'll take a break with 3:48 left to go in the first quarter. It's North Meck, 10-2. come back to North Mecklenburg High School with the Vikings leading 10-2 with 3:48 to go in the first quarter. You saw Brianna Jenkins, the head coach for the Berry Cardinals, in her huddle. Brindley Miller, who we highlighted in the opens, got their only 2 points right now. And North Meck scored the first 10 of this quarter. Miller picks up the dribble, pressured by Reed. And then a takeaway with Pimentel tying it up in the arrow, favoring the Vikings. And as we mentioned, North Meck, a team that went all the way to the regional semis last year. Jennifer Baker does an incredible job as Bates knocks down the pull-up J. Coach Baker does an incredible job with this program. And we mentioned year 15 for the Vikings. You don't see that across high school basketball a lot anymore with coaches staying in the same place. She's done a really nice job with North Meck. Trying to bounce it to a cutting Parker Breelove. It was broken up at last touch by Berry. So it'll go back to North Meck with 2:54 on the game clock. They dump it inside, too easy that time for Joseph, who we mentioned holds 3 Division I offers as a freshman, folks. That's right, a freshman. She's got Charlotte, Wake Forest, UNC Wilmington, 4. She's actually got North Carolina A&T as well, a 4th Division I offer already as a freshman in high school. And going up and drawing the foul is Zion Pimentel, who is coming off of an ACL surgery. Go to the free throw line for North Meck. Pimentel will split the point guard duties with Morgan Knox. We've kind of rotated it, bringing the ball up the majority of times this year and being that floor general for North Meck. She knocks them both down, and it's 16-2. Under 2.5 to go, first quarter. And Kendall Lewis here with you, BahakelSports.com. Active hands again, and North Meck forces another takeaway. That time it was Shannon Hoover who got her hands in there. Teeing it up from downtown is Bates. And another offensive board. High post entry, and whistles come in, 3 seconds in the lane. We'll give it back to the Cardinals of Berry. And this is our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, folks. We will be somewhere across the Charlotte Metro each and every week for doubleheaders. I'm so happy that high school basketball is back. Always some of the best high school hoops in that Charlotte metro area. Takeaway again, stolen by Rivera, and an easy lay-in for 2. 18-2. Vikings with the lead. And just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Floater blocked away. And North Meck comes up with it again. Up ahead, looking for Bates. Quick touch feed inside to Hoover. And draws the contact. Shannon Hoover. Kid that Coach Baker told me earlier before this one is one of the leaders on this team. She's only a junior. Her strength and positivity, very strong around the basket, as you saw right there, to draw the contact, but one of the more positive players on this Vikings team. Misses them both at the free throw line, and this will go back to Berry after being touched out of bounds by the Vikings. that was an area of focus when I asked Jennifer Baker, look, you're 5 games into the year. Where would you like to see this team improve the most? Even though they won their first 3, she said the free throw line in our last 2 games, that was the difference in the single-digit losses. We mentioned that they lost those 2 games by single digits, combined less than 15 points. Open 3, Miller off the mark and tapped out of bounds. 45 ticks left in the first. Hall will trigger it in for the Cardinals. Finds Miller, and she's fouled. 2 shots coming. For Miller, who's got the only 2 points for Barry in his first quarter. Filippo Berry Academy of Technology, located right near uptown Charlotte, making the trip to Huntersville, North Carolina tonight. This is a non-conference game. Miller will try to cash in on the second here. And it's up and good. She's got all 3 points for Barry in the first quarter with 43.5 ticks left. They'll try to feed this one inside, tapped away. Last touched by the Vikings, they say. It'll go back to Barry. Oh, excuse me, it'll stay on this end. A little bit of confusion there. Corner 3. Off the mark. And tracking down the loose board is the Cardinals. And it'll be Barry basketball with 19.6 seconds exactly to go here in the first quarter. And tripped up, a whistle and a foul. That's team foul number 3 on Barry here in the first quarter. 4.9 seconds left. Got to get it off. Pimentel, nowhere to go. Drops it off. Johnson, it wouldn't have counted. And the first quarter comes to a close. North Meck, 15-point advantage. 18-3 after 1. We'll be right back on BahakelSports.com. We come back to you here to start the second quarter. North Meck with a quick score, 15 seconds in, and they've got a 20-3 lead over the Berry Cardinals. Kendall Lewis here with you, BahakelSports.com game of the week. Of course, we'll have that men's matchup coming up after this one. The North Meck Vikings boys are 3-0 to start the year. The highly touted Isaiah Evans will be on display here on our network. And a takeaway from Rivera. Open look, off the mark. And North Meck just owning the glass, missing the bunny, but the putback is there from Shannon Hoover. And North Meck scored the first 10 points of the ball game. Before the Cardinals got on board, and all three of their points from Brindley Miller in the first quarter. And a timeout at the 6:57 mark of the second quarter. Here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. And folks, tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters. Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, the household name for quality and trust. And by Charlotte's hometown legal team, the Downer Law Firm. If you're injured, be sure to call the Downer Law Firm. We're glad you're with us on our BahakelSports.com doubleheader of the week. Here it's Berry and North Meck tonight from Huntersville, North Carolina. Yet, folks, we're going to be somewhere all season long, every week, twice a week for high school hoops. And an easy lay-in for the Vikings, who take a 21-point lead here in the early stages of the second quarter. Berry looking for something. We mentioned offensively it's been a struggle in their games this year. Miller had their only 3 points in the first quarter. And Miller will call a play for the Cardinals. Quick crossover dribble, gets into the paint, tries to go up. She was denied. Hoover there again. They'll try it from distance here. And rebound collected by Minna Johnson. Tell you what, North Meck lost a lot last year off that team, but have got the pieces, even though they're young, as that one nearly dropped. Rivero had the line to shoot too. They've got the pieces to make another deep run and be a threat in their Queen City 3A, 4A conference, which is always one of the better conferences in the state. Both of these teams play in two of the best conferences in the state when you think about North Meck and the Queen City 3A, 4A, and Berry in the SOMAC 4A conference. I think you could make a case that they might be the two top conferences, of course, in a lot of years. Both right here, Charlotte Metro teams. Miller, open seam, she'll drive. Wild shot. Offensive board pulled in by Breelove. She'll kick it back out. This one tapped around, and the Vikings come away with it. North Meck trying to add their lead. Berry yet to score the second quarter. And a blocking foul goes against Miller. Team foul number 3 on the Cardinals. Inside, they feed it. And Joseph finishes off glass again. Lanice Joseph for North Meck just recorded what was her second double-double of her high school career. She's only a freshman as well. North Meck started 3 freshmen tonight. Off the block, out in transition, they get it. And beautiful basketball. The lead feed for Boston Bates, who lays it home. How about that? The block, 1 touch, and a lead feed up the court to their senior, Boston Bates. And it's 29-3, North Meck, and a tie-up. Possession error will favor the Vikings. Altamise Leach, number 33 in for North Meck. Bunny miss, second chance, no. How about a third opportunity for Joseph in North Meck? And this one has really escalated for North Meck here in the second quarter. Whistle and a foul called away from the ball. And they're going to get Altamise Leach, who's just a sophomore. You think about North Meck tonight, they started 3 freshmen, and Leach is only a sophomore. So head coach Jennifer Baker said, you know, we returned 2 all-conference players last year, Boston Bates and Soleil Reed, who've got to carry the load this year as 2 of the upperclassmen. But when you think about how talented this freshman class is, as they mature this year, this team has another chance to make a deep playoff run. And whistle and a foul called here at the 3:55 mark. Keep it right here. 31-3. Trying to cut a backdoor. This one intercepted and taken back away by Hall, who stepped in front of the passing lane. Yeah, just over 3.5 to go, second quarter. Miller trying to create space. Cardinals struggling to get a shot off tonight, and a double dribble called and a turnover. 3:25 left to go, second quarter. We'll be right back. It's 31-3, Vikings cruising. (31-3), 3:25 to go, second quarter here on our BahakelSports.com doubleheader of the week. Again, we're going to be back Saturday. We've got 4 games at Providence Day high school. We'll have 2 women's, 2 men's games for you. Some really good ones in store. We'll talk a little bit more about those later with us tonight. We got a 30-point lead for the Vikings in this one. Taken away, Joseph, easy lay-in. And defense into offense tonight for North Meck. That was one of Jennifer Baker's keys coming in, was can they step it up defensively? As Miller drives, wild shot off the glass. Up ahead, running the floor, Rowe missed it. Another one of those freshmen that started has got interest from Division I's as a 9th grader, folks. Miller trying to create something. Pressured again. That length for North Meck, a problem, and Green gets it to go. First 2 points of the second quarter for Barry. 3 off the mark. Offensive board, kicked back out, pull up Jay. Yes, you betcha. Boston Bates knocks it down, who we highlighted in the open. He's got offers from Livingstone, UNC Pembroke, Catawba, a few Division II schools right in the area. Miller will launch a 3. Grabs her on miss, goes back up, and gets the floater to go. Miller's got 5 of the 7 points for the Cardinals. Good drop off that time. It's off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Breelove. And Miller will bring it up for Barry. Whistle and contact goes against North Meck. 1:01 mark of the second quarter. Once again, we're glad that you're with us tonight, our Bahakel Sports crew. Tell you what, if Charlotte metro area basketball this year is anything like we saw with football, soccer, and volleyball in the fall, we are in for a treat. Some really good games on the hardwood a year ago on this package. Miller missed it from close range. And North Meck collects the rebound with 38 seconds remaining, and knocking it down is Morgan Knox, who had 24 points in the Vikings season opener. (39-7). Final 23 seconds to go in the first half. Miller, it's around the top. They'll work it. Left corner, Breelove, floater off the mark. Missed everything, and here comes Knox. Crosses over, acrobatic finish, off glass. Does it count? You betcha. How about that for an exclamation point to end the first half? Morgan Knox, the freshman, finishing off the window, and it's 41-7 Vikings at halftime on our BahakelSports.com Game of the Week. Folks, if you're injured, be sure to call Charlotte's hometown legal team, the Downer Law Firm. We welcome you back to our Bahakel Sports doubleheader of the week. It's North Meck on top of Barry, 41-7 in game one of our doubleheader tonight. Women's action, it's all Vikings in the first half. And a balanced scoring attack for head coach Jennifer Baker and her North Meck Vikings, who are looking to pick up their fourth win of the year. Well, folks, don't feel too bad that football season around the Charlotte Metro is over, because not quite. Got the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas coming up a week from Saturday. Take a look at this.
Johnny Sowell is a staple of Monroe High School. He returned to his alma mater in 1986 to take over as the head football and basketball coach, and even dabble in track and field, with one thing keeping him going throughout the decades.
Well, I enjoy the kids, and I've always said, as long as I'm having fun, I'm going to keep on doing it.
Now he has another opportunity to make an impact. Sowell was chosen to represent North Carolina as their head coach in the 87th Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas, one of the oldest bowl games in which all of the profits from the All-Star game go towards the Shriners Hospital.
It's a great experience. It's not only for getting on the field, it's about what the cause is. And that's the thing that we're going to talk to them about all week, about why you're here, what the Shriners are about, what they're doing, why they're raising the money, those kind of things.
Sowell has some experience with this game. He was an assistant coach in 2010, while his son was on the team.
It's a good experience for them to actually understand what type of coach they have. You know, a veteran coach, a guy that has so much experience, and I actually know so much about football, and to be having that exposure as an athlete, I know they're excited as well.
Coach Sowell will receive his Shrine Bowl jacket before their game on Friday, a rematch against Porter Ridge in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Well, I mean, I tell everybody it's the second one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's over, but to get that honor, and for people, coaches in the community that speak highly of what we've done, what I've done, that's a big honor. It's a big honor.
Reporting in Monroe, Jack Taylor, Bahakel Sports.
At Shrine Bowl a week from Saturday once again. And it's right now 41-7 North Meck on top of Barry in game one of our doubleheader on the hardwood tonight. Our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week will return right after this. All Vikings here in this one, 41-7. Folks, don't forget, Game On will continue throughout our high school basketball season. That's 7 o'clock on Mondays on BahakelSports.com, where we'll have all the scores and highlights from around the Charlotte Metro. We'll be right back with the second half. (41-7) as we come back to you for the second half of our Bahakel Sports doubleheader of the week. Barry and North Meck will have the boys game coming up in about 15 minutes. The conclusion of this one, folks, was the scheduled 7:30 tip, but that one probably going to get started closer to 8. And coming out strong for the Cardinals as they knock down the open jumper. That's a 2. Foot was on the line. Only 7 points in the first half for the Cardinals. Again, a team that is on the younger side. This is a Barry team that does not have a senior on the roster. And there's a foul away from the ball against the Cardinals. Will give it back to North Meck. You had third quarter action here in Huntersville, North Carolina tonight. So again, folks, be sure you stay with us for the boys game. That should be fun. North Meck with the highly touted Isaiah Evans, among others, who are receiving Division I offers. Bullet feed inside. Oh, tough turnaround. Lanice Joseph cashes in for 2. Off the tip, the steal. Breasia Rowe, coast to coast, lays it home off glass. Rowe, just a freshman. One of those 3 that was in the starting lineup for Jennifer Baker tonight. Already receiving college interest as a freshman. When we told you there's another freshman, Lanice Joseph, on this North Meck team that already has 4 Division I offers. That was all before her first high school basketball game with offers. Incredible. Unselfish as the Vikings strike again. Well, it's just incredible to think about the high school recruiting process now and what it is for these kids, especially with the transfer portal. So much unknown year in and year out. And the fact that you've got freshmen getting offered now is just incredible. Two great talents as Soleil Reed steals it and lays it in on the other end. And we've got a timeout taken here at the 5:44 mark of the third. We'll keep it right here on our Bahakel Sports doubleheader of the week. Folks, once again, game on. Jeff and Jack Taylor on BahakelSports.com and WCCB, the CW in Charlotte, Mondays at 7 o'clock. You can take a look at what's going on around the area of not just high school basketball, but other sports as well. And we'll talk about some of those Charlotte Metro teams around the area on BahakelSports.com. 5:44 to go, third quarter. 49-10 our score here at North Mecklenburg High School. They're already starting to file in tonight. It was interesting to he's talking to, of course, we're glad to bring you the women's matchup as well, but with the North Meck men's team this year, seats are going to be hard to come by. You've got 3 players that have Division I offers, a 4th attracting interest, 1 already signed with Duke, and Isaiah Evans, who's a top 15 player in the country for the North Meck Vikings. Nice back cut that time, rejected, blocked away by Shadon Hoover. Well, they're already starting to file in for the men's game later tonight. Open J missed everything. Morgan Knox the rebound. Bates running the floor. Good ball movement by the Vikings there. One dribble, off glass, no, short. And the Cardinals pull in a loose board. Miller, who had 7 of the first 9 points for Barry. He got 7 of the 10 total. Only 3 in this third quarter by the Cardinals. Miller and Knox blocks it. Bates running the floor, lays it home again. Boston Bates, who we highlighted in the open, one of the Vikings all-conference selections from that team that made it to the regional semifinals a year ago. Comes back to lead a young team. Again, we mentioned she's got some really good Division II programs that have offered, like Livingstone, UNC Pembroke. 4:17. The clock ticks down. And we've got a running clock now. It's over 40-point lead in the second half. So the clock not going to stop until Barry gets it back underneath that threshold. Wholesale change for Jennifer Baker and the Vikings. Folks, once again, we've got 4 games for you Saturday, all at Providence Day High School. We'll have 2 women's games, 2 men's games, that really highly touted matchups for you right here on BahakelSports.com. As this one goes out of bounds, it'll go back to North Meck. Again, the men's game will start about 15 minutes at the conclusion of this one. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. I'll tell you what, if you're North Meck, gotta like this start. We'll take a break in this one. It's 51-10. North Meck all over Berry right now. .250 to go, third quarter. We come back to you here on Bahakel Sports.com. North Meck all over Berry tonight, 51-10. And we mentioned the Vikings had lost their last two games, AC Reynolds and Myers Park, each by single digits. And this is certainly going to get the confidence back in the right direction for Jennifer Baker, a team that started 3 freshmen tonight. Pimentel, oh, nice feed. Rivera sticks it in off glass. On the assist from Zion Pimentel. We mentioned North Meck. This is a team last year that won over 20 games, reached the regional semifinals. Can they do it? Can they find a way this year, looking at what they lost? I tell you what, they are a young team, but they are a talented team. And a whistle and a foul called here at the 144 mark. Again, a 43-point lead. It results in the reason for that running clock. North Carolina High School Athletic Association state rules. Speaking of the NCHSAA, last year we saw it implemented the RPI system for the state and how they'll see those eventual state playoff rankings come February, March. Miller got a hand on it, lost it, and North Meck able to score anyway. And the lead just continues to grow. Only 3 points in the second half for Berry. Less than a minute to go, third quarter. Miller hoists from 3 and hits it. Only 13 points on the night for Berry, but they've hit 2 threes. In our final 37 seconds of the third quarter. And Miller's got 10 of those 13 points. Whistle comes in and a travel. Give it back to the Cardinals. It's again, folks, we got the boys matchup coming up. Scheduled at 7:30. It's going to be a little bit closer to 7:45, 8-ish. About 15 minutes at the conclusion of this one. Pull up Jay, off the mark. Offensive board, back up strong. Minna Johnson as the clock expires in the third. And North Meck cruising to what would be their 4th victory on the season, up big. You saw North Meck 3-2, looking for cruising to what would be their 4th victory of the season. This will get them off a 2-game losing skid, as we talked about earlier. Going to work inside is Shannon Hoover. That's the junior with that strength inside that we talked about earlier. Jennifer Baker said before this one, she's got a lead as a junior this year because only a couple of seniors. Very young Vikings team. They haven't looked at tonight. And running the floor in transition is Mariah Fullenwider, her first 2 of the contest. And inside, Bree Love gets it to go for the Cardinals. Just over 7 to go. Vikings in full control here. We'll try to get Jennifer Baker, the head coach, over to talk at the conclusion of this one. As the 3 knocked down Fullenwider again. I'll tell you what, the Vikings, they start 3 freshmen, but they look as if they're poised to make another deep playoff run. And it'll be interesting to see as this season goes on. Fullenwider scored the last 5 for the Vikings. We'll see if they heat check her here. It's a shot fake. Pimentel, good move to get to the basket, couldn't finish. And out of bounds, it'll go back to Barry. Now we'll try to get Coach Baker over for a post-game interview. Conclusion of this one. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay on this end with the Vikings of North Meck. We'll tell you what, we'll have the men's game at about 15 minutes at the conclusion of this one. Barry will continue on their season in the SOMEC 4A. That's a very good conference for North Meck out of the Queen City 3A, 4A conference. We touched on it if you weren't with us earlier that those are probably 2 of the better conferences, not just in this area or the west side of the state, but in the entire state of North Carolina. Offensive board, no. How about a third chance? And Shannon Hoover with the putback. And 3, you betcha. Zelina Green knocks it down. Tapped around, rebound pulled in by Galliano. And a whistle and a foul with 4:04. Substitution as they get Soleil Reed back into the game for North Meck. Once again, this place packing in here tonight. North Meck, men's and women's, they've got a lot to be excited about in basketball this year and as we've seen in years past. Miller trying to cut. Backs it away, 3:26 to go, 4th quarter. And Breedlove will skip it. Again, shots have been tough to come by tonight for the Cardinals. Off the crossover, missed everything. Rebound Johnson for North Meck. Pimentel, they'll slow it up. Stepping back, and this one's off the side of the backboard. We'll go back to Barry, and we will take our final timeout of the women's game. North Meck. .251 to go. It's 66-18. North Meck had a 41-7 lead at halftime, and the majority of the second half been that running clock. The Vikings have been relentless on defense. That was one of the focuses for Jennifer Baker tonight is, can we get back in the win column, but can we ramp it up defensively? That was an area that she said, look, if we're going to have the success that we did last year, we've got to utilize these non-conference matchups to be able to do that. Up the floor, they find Nia Davis, the junior, her first deuce of the night, in a 50-point Vikings lead. An offensive foul called, a moving screen against Parker Breelove. Clock just continuing to run out here in game one of our doubleheader tonight, folks. Don't go anywhere. We've got the men's matchup coming up. About 15 minutes to the conclusion of this one. Follow no, and the Vikings touched it last. It'll go back to Barry. Floating it inside, no. Rebound collected by Lee. She's been big tonight for North Meck. And out of bounds, it'll go back to Barry. Final minute of this one. North Meck going to improve to 4-2 on the season. Jennifer Baker's crew gets back in the win column. They'll take on Huff in their first conference game. That's Friday night at 6 o'clock. Right here at home as well. So they get back in the win column right before Queen City 3A, 4A play begins. Missing the layup. That's Smith. Put back, you betcha. Soleil Reed. And a foul against Nia Davis. And the clock going to run out here in this one. That's the final score. 70-18. Dominating win for North Meck. They pick up their fourth win of the season, and they are 4-2 on the year. We will try and get Coach Baker later on, but the final score, 70-18. Once again, North Meck wins it on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.